Hey everybody. So I'll introduce myself again here, Jacob Salem, coming to you live from Chicago. I am the social media strategist behind Zig Ziglar. My company is the company that grew their page to the 3.6 million likes and grew that engagement, and we've been very blessed to carry that torch for them. I'm going to be the guy behind the screen today, and so I'll be the one clicking through the next slide and kind of making sure everything on the tech side works here. So as we begin, I'll introduce a little bit what we're going to be talking about and what Matt's going to cover, and I'll of course introduce him as well. So we're looking at a webcast, Reach Your Highest Potential. Matt is going to be cramming in a workshop that he has done all over the country in in representation of Ziglar that people have paid hundreds of dollars, and I know in other countries I've actually helped people sell these tickets for $600+. And so he's going to be giving a snippet of this workshop, and he's going to cover in about 30 to 45 minutes as much as he can through a time-tested and proven workshop that Zig would have offered himself if he were still with us. So Reach Your Highest Potential is a variation of building the best you. I want to cover a little house cleaning. We do our very best to pack as much information in this so that when you walk away from it, you really do have tools and things you can use to help yourself be, do, and have more than you ever thought possible. So I ask that you kind of get rid of the distractions and the cell phones and even bring out a notebook and pen. I mean, ultimately, when you write this stuff down, it really does change the way you look at things, and it changes the things within our minds. There's a psychological trigger that when we actually put something on paper, it makes it become real, a lot like voicing it out loud. The third point is the most critical point for me, kind of as the nerd behind the scene. We've actually had two webcasts now on me crash. One crashed completely. That was pretty embarrassing. The second one, we lost sound, and that was probably the most embarrassing because I could see all the messages coming across and how they couldn't hear us. And so if you'd close out any other window that you might have open, that really does help all your internet, all the juice and everything you have kind of go toward this webcast. We get a lot of people on these webcasts, and the last thing we want to do is have some kind of glitch. And I know that if we can close out of other browsers, that will help prevent that. So if you could do that for me, I would really appreciate that. Today, Matt's going to be covering these 6 things. He's going to cover the qualities successful people possess and how you can possess them too. You're going to learn how to get more of the things that money will buy and all of the things that money won't buy. It's going to teach you the importance of your attitude and how to keep it positive. It's going to teach you how to keep yourself motivated and striving toward your goals. He'll cover the importance of the words you choose and even give some recommendations. And then, of course, he's going to show you the power and tell you the power of taking the first step. I know we're going to have a great time today. Matt and I have done this webcast in the past. I've done it on my own. He's done it. We've done it with other people. I know you guys are going to like it. Matt, to me, I mean, literally Matt, and I'll say this probably again, he is the strongest cup of coffee you'll ever meet. And so I'm going to go forward just a tad here. I believe the next screen will introduce him. So I'll read a little bit here. So he's an exclusive speaker and trainer for the Zig Ziglar Corporation, co-creator of the Ziglar Significance Leadership Program. He was one of the first Ziglar Legacy certified coaches. And of course, you guys can read the rest. So I'm going to introduce my little story about Matt rather than read. I met Matt when I came down to Ziglar in Chicago and became a Ziglar certified speaker, trainer, and coach myself. And this guy, I mean, he just reached out to me with open arms, and I knew from the day we met that we were going to become good friends. He's the type of guy that goes the extra mile in everything he does. He's always got a smile on his face, and he's always doing everything he can to not only help everybody around him, but he's doing everything he can to help everybody be happy and smile around him. He really does have this positive personality that's contagious. And so I'm going to allow him to finish the conversation. Matt, I'm going to ask you to take over from here. And again, guys, I'll see your messages all the way through. He won't. So if you guys have questions or comments all the way through, go ahead and message them. I'll kind of message them over to him or say them out loud. But Matt, I'm excited for you, brother. And come on and introduce yourself and kind of finish that conversation.
You got it, man. Thank you so very much. And I'm going to tell you the strongest cup of coffee comment. I like that, and I may have another one while we even go through this. So that's fantastic. And Jacob, I can't thank you enough for your help and your assistance in making this possible, man. You're a giver all the way. and we truly are incredibly grateful. I am incredibly, incredibly grateful for each and every one of you who are on the call. Your time is the absolute most valuable commodity that you have. It's more valuable than money. It's more valuable than anything else on this planet because you can never get it back and you can't get any more of it. So for you to invest your time with us today, we thank you for that and we appreciate it immensely. And also, we will try to give you something that you can use, something that you can take with you to truly make your life a better life. We're about building a better you. And that's what this coaching program is all about. That's what this seminar is all about. That's what we want to try to help you become. And we're going to do it today in a short amount of time, and we're going to pour ourselves into you, and we just hope you remain open to what we're suggesting and the principles that Zig laid out for years, principles that really are foundational to our success, principles that are so to the core of who we can become, that they're just phenomenal. And we really, truly believe that each and every one of you on this call, that each and every one of you who are a part of our programs can become a better you. And we want to try to help you get there, and we're excited about that opportunity. So with that, let's dive right into this program, and we'll get cranking on it even as we go. So let's start at the top. Here's the thing about when we get into how do we build a better you. The bottom line is it really does start with you. It doesn't matter what I give. It doesn't matter what Jacob, what anybody else does for you, to you, with you. The choice is yours. We say it over and over and over again. Great quote. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And we want to help you start on that journey today. Here's what we talk about. There was a great guy. His name was John Jones, and John Jones was heading out. He was going to fly out one day. He gets to the airport a little early, and he had a few minutes to spare. He walks up to this old-timey scale in front of this magazine store. He thinks, well, that's kind of interesting. So he steps on the scale. He inserts a coin, and down comes this slip of paper with his weight and his fortune. And it said, your name is John Jones, you weigh 188 pounds, and you're going to catch the 220 to Boston. Wow, he was astounded because that's exactly that was exactly correct. He figured it had to be some kind of a trick, so he steps back, gets another coin, puts a coin back in there, steps up back on the scales and says, your name is still John Jones, you still weigh 188 pounds, and you are still going to catch the 220 to Boston. Now this guy, he's puzzled. He's sensing there's got to be some kind of trick. He decides to fool whoever and whatever was responsible for this trick. So he goes into the men's room. He changes clothes. He puts on his glasses. He puts on a cap. He comes back outside. He steps back up on that scale. He inserts his coin. Down comes his fortune, and it says, your name is still John Jones. You still weigh 180 pounds, but you just missed the 220 to Boston. How many times have we got so distracted that we really miss out on all the good things that life has to offer us? This workshop is to remind you that you truly can be the best you and have all the things that life has to offer you. That's what it's all about. Success and happiness are not matters of chance, but they are matters of choice. And we want to help you make that choice. And as a company and as a group, we've interviewed thousands upon thousands of people. And when we surveyed all these people, we found out what they really wanted in life. And what it boiled down to that thousands of people wanted in life, well, they wanted to be happy. They wanted to be healthy. They wanted to be prosperous. They wanted to be secure. They wanted to have friends. They wanted to have peace of mind, good family relationships, and hope for a better tomorrow. And isn't that what we all truly would like to have? Those simple principles that would truly take our lives to a whole entire new level. But as you can see right there, there's a sign. The elevator to those things is broken. It's out of order. There is no easy way to consistently have all the good things that you want out of life. You've got to work for them. You've got to take the stairs. Stairs that are built on a solid foundation, a foundation of faith and love and loyalty and character and honesty and integrity. And there are certain steps that you can take to reach the things in life that you want. And we want to help you start taking those steps. So let's walk up those stairs together. And one of the, as I say, one of the first steps, and there's a reason it's the number one step, is self-image. As a speaker, as a coach, as a trainer, thousands upon thousands of people have been able to be in front of, and I will tell each and every one of you this: if we could cure self-image, we could cure the majority of the problems in the world. I mean, I ask the question, I mean, how many of you have dealt with self-image problems? And I'll be totally honest and transparent here. I've dealt with it. This is something that we all have dealt with in one shape, form, or fashion in our lives. So there's a reason that it's step number one. Several years ago, a balloon salesman was selling balloons on the streets of New York City. And when business would get a little slow, he'd release a balloon. And as it floated into the air, a fresh crowd of buyers would gather around and his business would pick back up for a few minutes. And he'd alternate the colors. He'd first release a white one, and then he'd release a red one, and later a yellow one. And after a little time, a little African-American boy tugged on his coat sleeve and looked the balloon salesman in the eye, and he asked a really penetrating question. He said, "Mister, if you released a black balloon, would it go up?" And the balloon salesman looked at the little boy with compassion and wisdom and understanding, and he said, "Son, it's what's inside those balloons that makes them go up." The little boy was I mean, you talk about fortunate indeed to encounter a man who could see with more than just his eyes. With good eyes, you can see to run or walk, work or play. The person who can see with his heart and his eyes can also reach out and touch the spirit within another human being and reveal that good lies within. Yes, the balloon salesman was absolutely right. And I'm also right when I tell you that it's what's inside you that will make you go up. That's what it's all about. It's about fixing what's on the inside. One, when we talk about self-image, we want you to recognize your potential. We have to do that first. We want you to recognize that potential, and we want you to be honest with that because you've had a lot of great victories in your life, and we want you to make a list of those things. Start putting down all the victories that you've had in life, whether it be the most minute, smallest, tiniest victory or a really significant victory. Write those lists out, and we want you to use what we call adult language. Use words accountability, commitment, responsibility, friendship, courage, guaranteed love, hope, work. Take that and use it. We call those last three, we call those four-letter words, that love and hope and work. And we want you to put those four-letter words into practice in your life. And if you, I kid you not, if you want to really make a difference in your life, if you really want to work on your self-image and the battle that's going on between your ears, you need to be working on it constantly. And one of the greatest ways you can ever do that is what we call enroll in Automobile University. And that's use your car time. Use your car time to better yourself. Listen to educational, spiritual, inspirational podcasts, CDs, etc., downloads, whatever that is. Get into that. Be willing to work on yourself daily. Be willing to, as I say, get over yourself and become a greater person. You are where you are and what you are because of what goes into your mind. That is the truth, so the opposite is also true. You can change what you are, where you are, by changing what goes into your mind. That is powerful. We want you to recognize that potential. Make a victory list. Use adult language for Pete's sake, right? Work on those four-letter words. Use Automobile University by working on yourself daily, and take risk to stretch yourself and gain confidence. Don't be afraid to try and fail. Remember, failure is an event. It's not a person. And all too often we let failure completely paralyze us. We let failure stop us in our tracks, and we quit. I say we let speed bumps stop us when they're only supposed to slow us down. Failure is an event, not a person. Don't be afraid to try. The next step, and I say it's the second most important step, and it's number 2 for a reason, it is relationships. We have to deal with our relationship with other people. Here's the thing. Life truly is an echo. What you send out is exactly what's going to come back to you, and it's going to come back tenfold. How you send is what's going to be received. The way you treat people, and we say that you treat people exactly as you see them. We want you to think, well, what kind of coworkers do you have? What kind of parents do you have? What kind of friends do you have? Look at the people that are around you. See them for who they are. Capitalize on the great ones, and maybe distance yourself from the ones that are keeping you from being the best you that you can be. But most importantly, become a good finder. Start looking for the good in other people. And it's odd what happens when you start looking for the good in other people. It's amazing how much good is actually there. And some of you may be thinking, well, I never met my so-and-so. There's still good out there, and it's what you see is what you're going to get. Cut out the double standard. And we say judge others on the outside and judge yourself on the inside. And we say that's biblical. I believe there's a little story in the Bible about don't judge the speck in a brother's eye when there's a plank in your eye. Cut out the double standard, and your relationships with other people will improve drastically. You do all these things, and your relationship with other people is going to be exponentially better. The third step as we walk up to this thing is absolutely the third most important thing, and that is you've got to have goals. How many of you have been told in your life that you have to have goals? We've all been told that. We've been told that from the time that we're little kids, right? You've got to have goals. You've got to have goals. It means that any long-lasting success achieved, any balance in your life, any objective accomplished happens because you had a goal. Everyone has a goal. The drug addict's goal is to get another fix. The child's goal is not to get caught doing something bad by the parent. If we I want you to ask yourself, are you a wandering generality or are you a meaningful specific? We want you to be meaningful. The only way you can do that is to have goals. Astronauts didn't get to the moon just by wandering around, ladies and gentlemen. A pro golfer, Arnold Palmer didn't become a champion by playing a round of golf on a Sunday afternoon. And Sir Hillary Edmond, I don't know if you remember him, the first person to reach Mount Everest without the use of oxygen tanks. He didn't get there by taking a little hike. No, they each had clear goals, and they worked diligently to get there. You may not dream of achieving some kind of national fame like that, but any amount of success that you pursue takes solid goal setting. Goals release power in you. You're told that from the very beginning for a very specific reason. And how do you even set a goal? Though we're told it from the beginning, but how do you set a goal? And we don't want you to look at obstacles. We start looking at obstacles not if but when, because you know they're going to happen. So you've got to have goals. Goals release power. We want you to know how to set them, and then we say, you know what? You've got to become a flea trainer. Has anybody ever heard of what a flea trainer is? To train a flea, you could put a bunch of fleas in a jar, and if you put a lid on that jar, and the fleas are going to start hopping up, and they're going to be hitting the top of that jar, and they're going to hit the top of that jar to the point that they stop just short of it, and they'll keep going up and down, but they'll never hit the top of that jar after a time. And you could actually even take the lid off, and those fleas will keep going up and down, and they'll never come out of the jar. We want you to recognize your potential. We want you to pour it out so that you don't just stop hitting your head up against a wall, and you can release the power that we know is within you. And then there's a little thing that's called attitude. Attitude. Good grief. What a difference the world would make if everybody would work to have a constant, better attitude. And here's the first key point of attitude. We say you need a checkup from the neck up to prevent hardening of the attitudes, which is caused by stinking thinking. Because sometimes we get the plum disease. Anybody know what the plum disease is? You may actually even know someone with plum disease. Plum disease is that poor little old me. And have you ever been around somebody that had a pity party? Or have you ever had a pity party for yourself? I mean, pity parties aren't any fun. I mean, after all, no one wants to come, and you don't get any presents. What good is that? And what deposits are you making into your mind? Are they negative? Are they positive? What you put in is what will come out. And then the bottom line is it's going to take a lot of work. And a lot of people think that work is a four-letter word, and it feels like we're in a society today where people want all the rewards of life, but they don't want to do the work of life. And the great story comes from the wisdom of the ages. An ancient king, he wanted to know, what is the wisdom of the ages? What's the secret of life? What is that? And he invites all the great thinkers and the great minds to come together, and he asks them the question, and he tells them, sends them out on a mission, and he says, would you bring back, you study it, and you tell me what is the wisdom of the ages? They spent countless time, countless hours, and they come back with volumes of information to him. And he said, oh, no, that's entirely too big. Narrow it down. They go away, and they come back, and they have it narrowed down to one book. And he goes, no, you've got to narrow it down more. And they go, and they come back, and they've narrowed it down to 3 chapters. And he goes, no, narrow it down more. And they narrow it down to a chapter. And he says, no, narrow it down more. And they finally come back with one sentence. And the secret of the wisdom of the ages is there's no such thing as a free lunch. Right? There ain't no free lunch, ladies and gentlemen. And Ben Franklin said it best himself, right? I mean, leave it to Ben. He said the U.S. Constitution doesn't guarantee happiness, only the pursuit of it. You have to catch up with it yourself. In other words, you have to do the work. Next point. It's about that Chinese bamboo tree. You may have heard the story of the Chinese bamboo tree, and I'll tell it quickly. The Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. But here's the interesting fact about the Chinese bamboo tree. It has to be watered and fertilized every day. The ground that it sits in has to be watered and fertilized every day. However, the Chinese bamboo tree doesn't even break through the ground until year number 5. But then in 5 weeks, the Chinese bamboo tree grows to 90 feet tall. And the question is, did it grow to 90 feet tall in 5 weeks? And the obvious answer is no. It grew that way in 5 years. It's persistency of work. It's continual work. It's constantly going the extra mile. We talk about the P's of work. It's patience, it's persistence, it's perspiration. The extra mile is one stretch of highway where we can guarantee you there's never a traffic jam, right? There's never a traffic jam on the extra mile. And then last but not least, that desire. It's having that gut-burning desire to build a better you. Desire can be summed up real simply. There's only 1 degree of separation between hot water and steam. 211 degrees. It makes a great cup of hot tea, but when you just do that little bit more, you have energy. I mean, steam will propel things. It's about we call it the block in the mailbox. Go one, if you're going to start off running and you've never run before, run a block and then go 1 mailbox, and then the next day go 2. It's that little bit more. And we would like for each and every one of you to have what we call intelligent ignorance. I don't know if you know what intelligent ignorance is, but human engineers with these great big brains and great big computers and all this information, they looked at a bumblebee and they said it's impossible for a bumblebee to fly. But bumblebees, with their little bitty small brains and their teeny tiny brains, they didn't know this, so they just continued on to fly in blissful ignorance. When you're faced with a problem, don't dwell on what can't be done. Focus on what can be done and then set about doing it. Being intelligently ignorant is choosing not to dwell on all the things that are wrong and all the ways that it can't work, but like that little bitty bumblebee, finding a solution that works and then implementing it. Having that desire. The question that we ask you as we've simply and real quickly taken all these steps, self-image, working on that, your relationship with others, having goals, you're going to have to work on your attitude. You're going to have a positive attitude. You're going to have to do the work, and you're going to have a desire to do it. The question is, will you stare up the stairs, or are you actually going to step up the stairs? Are you going to take the first step off of the foundation that we know you have, or you wouldn't be here today? And that's the cool part. We know you've got this, or you would not have given me your time to be a part of this. We know you have that foundation. Are you going to take the steps? We know you can. We know you will. And we're excited to give you a little bit of a glimpse as to what could happen if you do. You can have the happiness, you can be healthy, you can be prosperous, secure, friend, peace of mind, family, and hope. And here's the thing. People pay us thousands, literally thousands of dollars to go through weekly coaching sessions to help them overcome who they are and to take themselves up those stairs and to take themselves to an all-new, better position and a better you. People come to seminars where we put on seminars for thousands of people to go through building the best you. But the one thing that I kept thinking is, how do we give this to you in a way that you can afford it, in a way that you can work on you right where you're at? And I thought, why don't we offer it in a 6-week course? And we're going to call it Monday Morning Motivation with Matt. And every Monday morning, starting November 2nd, I'm going to take you through those steps. We're going to spend 1 day a week for 6 weeks walking up those steps. And we're going to spend each day working on each individual one to help you become the best you that you can be. And like Jacob, as I was talking to Jacob, I'm like, how can we do this in a way that anyone and everyone could afford it? So from now to November 2nd, we're going to be offering our 6-week video course where I'm going to be coming to you live on video every week for 6 weeks for $39. $39, we will take you up those stairs. That's the pre-launch price. After beginning November 2nd when we start it, the price is going to go up to $49. We wanted to make this affordable for anyone so that anyone could recognize their true potential, and we truly could help you become the best you that you can become. We're excited about this opportunity. We've never done this before. We're excited to be able to offer it in a way that anybody and everybody can come. Invite your friends, invite your families. We are going to help you become the best you that you can be. Thank you so much for allowing me to bless. Thank you for blessing my life with the opportunity to come into yours today. I truly am grateful for it. I truly love each and every one of you, and I know that we can see you at the top. Thank you very much. And Jacob, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right, Matt. Well, I'm going to jump on. Sandra already did us a favor and let me know that I have a typo on here. So step 4, attitude. That is actually November, not October. So I apologize for that. We did have Erica wanted you to go back and repeat the summary on attitude. She was referring to the saying in regard to stinking thinking. And so rather going back slides, do you think you could go back and give a quick synopsis of what you talked about in reference to attitude?
Absolutely. Like I say, we have to avoid stinking thinking, which can lead to hardening of the attitudes. So it's all about watching what we put into our mind, what we let our minds start dwelling on, so that we don't let those attitudes start to sink. And because once they start sinking, it does. We start getting hardened to it. So pay attention to that. Make sure that you are not dwelling in those spots. Make sure you're constantly working towards keeping a positive mental attitude.
Awesome, guys. And now, before we end up closing out for the day, Matt doesn't see these comments, but I love to show him at the end. He took his time today, time out of his valuable day, of course. He thanked you for yours. I like to get you guys to thank him for coming out and giving this presentation for free. He typically has said this before, where he'll sell it as a workshop, and I personally have helped people sell these workshops for hundreds of dollars, up to $600 a ticket. So if you guys want to send over the thanks and the compliments. We just had another question. Catherine, we'll get to that. Give me 2 seconds here. But, if you would, and also if you plan on buying this course, send it over. That gets us a little excited too. Even if you're not going to get into it today, this will be a video course where Matt, and it's actually not going to be a screen. We're going to put a camera on his face, and you guys are actually going to see him. We're actually going to be filming that in Chicago. And so you'll get a video with him every single Monday for 6 weeks straight where you guys are going to go through this. Tomorrow I asked what time on Monday. So that's an email. I plan on sending that email out every Monday. It'll be around 8 a.m. CST probably. And yes, we have a recorded version of this training that will go out. Let's scroll up. Catherine said, Matt, would you speak a little more on goals and setting them? It might be a good tip to give a little roundabout of what you're going to cover on week 3 where we talk about goal setting.
Absolutely. You know what? We've been, and thank you for the question, because I probably didn't address it enough earlier. I get so excited and I get to carrying on. We're all told that we need to set goals, right? I mean, we've all been told that forever. But has anyone ever just walked in and said, okay, here's a formula that you can use to set a goal, no matter if it's a teeny tiny goal or if it's a great big huge goal? Here's a formula that you can use. The Ziglar goal setting program is absolutely the most phenomenal goal setting program I have ever set through personally, and now it is so much fun to be able to deliver that to other people. We will take you through 7 steps. Here are 7 things you can do. 1, to identify a goal, all the way down to here is the deadline you have to set for this goal. So we're going to give you a program that you can use. It's phenomenal. I mean, being told we need to set goals is great, but actually being showed how to do that is even, I mean, as I say, that's even gooder, right? I mean, we'll go from good to gooder. So that's the goal setting part that will be step 3. It's phenomenal. I did that program. I was asked to do the program in a breakout session. I was told, I expect 30 to 40 people in this at the seminar for a breakout session in a national conference. I thought, yeah, that'll be great. We ended up with having to close the doors with 110 people coming into the room. We had the standing room only, packed house. And what that told me was people need to know the steps to actually make it happen. And that's what we want to do for you. That's what we will do for you, and we'll take you through the whole course. And I go do half-day and full-day seminars on this, and we're going to do it in one session, and it'll be to where you can knock it out of the park for yourself.
All right, so I'm going to jump in here. We're getting a lot of questions on the videos and how long they're going to be and when they're going to be. And Janet, I guess, and Janet just said the link to PayPal doesn't work, so I was kind of fighting that this morning. So Janet, I'm going to work on that. You guys are all going to get an email from me as well with maybe a more functional link. If you go to ZieglerCoachingWebcast.net is where, and it sounds like you're already there, but the main question we're getting is how long are the videos and when is it? And so I want to first and foremost kind of put emphasis as to what this actually will be. You're going to get an email every Monday morning that's going to have obviously some content in it where we're going to type some things to you, a little message, and the video will actually be there. And we're anticipating these videos will be about 45 minutes long, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, depending on how the training goes. So we're expecting to send those are live videos. You know, Matt Rush is going to be doing them. It's going to come to you in an email on the Monday morning, listed with the correct date there. And you're going to be able to watch it at your leisure. So if you're interested in doing that, keep messing over. I think we just answered most of the questions. I'm going to just kind of scroll up on the question side here myself.
Well, and let me address that just a little bit too, because here was our thinking is, you know, everybody is so busy. You probably don't have time to stop what you're doing or take a day off or take 2 or 3 days off to go to a seminar or go hear a speaker or whatever, and it costs so much stinking money. And I'm like, we've got to be able to help people where they're at in their own homes. So we're like, how about if we build this in? I'll be in front of a camera. We're going to walk you through the actual steps of the real specifics of each step. We're going to do it in a doable amount of time each week. But then you can watch it when you want to watch it, and then it will be there for you too, so that if you need to go back, look at it. And I will make this offer as well. Jacob doesn't even know this. I will make myself available by email, by phone, whatever you need. If you have some real specific short questions or something like that that you don't understand each week, then we'll be available for you. And we want you to get the good out of this that you would get if you came and sat through a full day session with us.
All right, so I'm going to come on. Well, one of you that have already tried to go purchase, will you let me know if that PayPal link started working? I'm kind of working on the side screen here to get that going. So for one of you, I know a lot of you have already said you're interested in buying. If you went and bought, or if you're trying to, will you let me know, Janet, if that PayPal link ended up working for you or not? Can I get some feedback there? Still no feedback, so give me 2 seconds. I'm still working on the back link here.
Okay. And the other thing too is we'll have this available. I wanted to give the discount, the pre-launch price up until November 2nd, so we'll be able to email it out to you, and we'll be building in anticipation for the November 2nd rollout. Can't tell you how exciting it's going. We are about being able to offer this in this format to you. First time Jacob and I have ever done it this way, and I just think it's going to be we're going to be able to help a lot of people, and you're going to be able to build a better you really easily this way.
All right, so I just sent a link to everybody. So the link on the slide shouldn't be clickable. I don't think I was clear enough there. You're going to purchase at ZieglerCoachingWebcast.net is the website where you would go purchase, and then that link will be clickable if you go to that website separately on a different screen. Also, I messaged directly to everybody, and I believe that went to everybody, the direct link to PayPal, so it completely bypasses this screen. And when you register in PayPal, it's automatically going to put you into the email sequence, and from there on, it's going to work. So someone just said, that works, this works. So awesome. I'm going to send that again to make sure it went. So for you guys that are looking to purchase, the 39 is available right until we start the course. Once we start this course, I'm going to actually put this thing on fully automated to where anybody can get into it at any time. It'll be a fully automated system. The emails and the offer for Matt to respond to you is only for the people who attend the live webcast. So thank you. A bunch of people are saying the link works, so awesome. Hope you guys are completing your checkout there. Once this thing goes live, it'll just be a fully automated system to where you won't really have Matt live. So he's making that offer to you guys. We're going to see who all buys today. You'll get a tag in Infusionsoft, which will give you that little extra bonus there. So do we have, before we sign off here for the day, do we have any other questions? All right, I'm not seeing any questions. So we really appreciate you, Matt. I'll let you kind of finish the final sign off, but we have no more questions coming in. Catherine said she didn't receive an email. Hold on. Catherine, I'm going to send this to you directly. So
Excellent.
You got that link privately. If anybody else wants the link and isn't figuring out how to get the link, you guys have it. Paula, we're so glad you are here. Tamara, thanks so much for the questions. And Olivia, thanks for answering as well. So Matt, I'll let you kind of close out.
Absolutely. As we go forth from this day, we just want to tell you, one, thank you for your time today. Number two, we really believe that within you, you can build a better you, and in turn, then we can absolutely change the world around us. And we're excited about this journey together, and we're going to knock it out of the park, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be an absolute amazing, amazing day. So thank you so much, and I hope God truly blesses each and every one of you.